Ladies and gentlemen, we have been working all day, and now it's after work. I'm Joe. Welcome back to another episode of That Nintendo Show. We missed out last week, just because there was, like, a lot of stuff, and I didn't have enough time, a lot of stuff going on IRL with the job, so I didn't have time to write a proper show. I figured, you know what, we're gonna make it up to you this week, and Nintendo pulled through with the Nindies. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about an older lawsuit, which I actually referred to a couple weeks ago, and the results of that, as well as more games that have come out this week, and some from Japan, and what the lineup for this weekend is. So guys, this is That Nintendo Show for September 1st, 2017. And guys, this is your weekly Nintendo news show every Friday night here on twitch.tv/JoAfterWork. You can find me here. Normally, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time is the start time for the stream. I needed a nap. I'm not going to lie. I needed a nap. I was exhausted, so we started late tonight. I apologize, but thank you guys over in the Discord for always understanding. You guys are amazing. I love y'all. Leave that bowl of... You guys just watched me. For those of you listening on the podcast, 11 minutes ago, before we started the show, I was eating some hard-boiled eggs, so that was me tossing the bowl there, and everyone watched. It was real nice. It was real nice. But before we get into the news, guys, some of you guys know, living in the States, Hurricane Harvey hit real hard over in Texas, some of the Houston area, and some of the surrounding areas around that. So tonight and tomorrow, Saturday, September 2nd, don't send any bits to the stream. If you want to, there's a link. I'm going to leave it in the description of the YouTube video. I'm going to leave it in the description of the podcast over on SoundCloud and iTunes if you're listening to it. And I'll be sending the link out on the stream as we go on throughout the stream tonight and tomorrow on Twitch. But we're raising money. I put the minimum was 100. I figured if we hit there, great. Whatever we get to will be awesome enough. But raising money for the Red Cross, who's been sending out volunteers out there and helping out a lot. It would mean a lot if we raised a little bit of money for that. And I'll be putting in after the stream tonight, because I was rushing to get everything done, that I was just like, let's start the stream, boom. So I apologize for that. I'll put in my share in there, and yeah, I thought it'd be really nice to try to do something positive for everyone that's out there. So there you go. Do not send me bits. If you plan on sending in bits, go to that link and put it towards that instead, is what I ask. And without further ado, let's go down the pipeline. There we go. Got a little bit of delay. I had to load up the media player. Oh man, but guys, let's start off with that out of the way. Let's start off with this lawsuit. This Nintendo lawsuit took place about 4 years ago. This is coming by way of GameStop, is where I'm pulling this article from, but 4 years ago, there was a company called iLife, which I don't know how they got away with that, but iLife was a company that had motion control patents that were that they're claiming were similar to the motion controls in the Wii and the Wii U. And so they were asking for us, they were filing a lawsuit for a total sum of damages of about 140 something million, if I remember correctly. The outcome of it, after 4 years of back and forth, is iLife actually won. They won the lawsuit, saying that Nintendo's motion sensors that were in some of the initial releases of the Wii and the Wii U are in there, and that is patent infringement. Therefore, the jury has decided that yes, Nintendo was in the wrong on this, and they're not going to pay the full amount. They have it that they are ordering Nintendo to pay $10 million, which is nuts. I'm gonna read a little bit here real quick. This is again coming by way of GameStop, but as with anything as popular as the Wii, Nintendo has faced numerous lawsuits over the years regarding its home console. One such case came to a close just this week, at least for now, with the jury ruling against Nintendo and ordering it to pay $10 million. This particular lawsuit was first filed by the tech company iLife in Texas District Court back in 2013. It alleged that Nintendo had infringed on patents owned by iLife, claiming devices like the Wii Remote, and Wii U contained systems or methods for body movement detection, body movement evaluation, body movement analysis, receiving body movement signals, analyzing body movement signals, responding to body movement signals, and remotely monitoring body movement signals. Body movements. It was one of several such lawsuits iLife filed around that time. It's unclear what exactly iLife used its patents for, and there were questions at the time if it was functioning as a patent troll. Despite that, the jury in this case against Nintendo has now reached a verdict finding it indeed infringed on one specific patent. As a result, Nintendo has been ordered to pay iLife $10.1 million, far less than the nearly $150 million iLife originally sought. As it is to be expected, Nintendo said that it plans to appeal, meaning this process is not yet at its end. August 31st, a jury in Texas found that certain Wii and Wii U video game systems and software bundles infringed a patent belonging to iLife Technologies related to detecting if a person has fallen down. That was their main claim as one of the patents, and this is the one that they thought Nintendo infringed on. Nintendo sent in a statement shared with GameSpot, first reported by Glixel. The jury awarded iLife $10 million in damages. Nintendo disagrees with the decision as Nintendo does not infringe iLife's patent and the patent is invalid. Nintendo looks forward to raising those issues with the District Court and the Court of Appeals. That is nuts. That, it's like... this was the lawsuit that I was referring to when we were talking about it a couple weeks ago, about the other lawsuit that they're in right now for the Switch against Game Vice right now. And Game Vice was actually out here in New York during there was like a mini convention out in Terminal 5, which Terminal 5 is actually a pretty big venue, but they were there. They had that device thing that was there. I still don't know if that thing is even available. Like that's another thing. Oh man. But oh, sorry, Malik Monk. Sorry. The show that we have here is this one's more podcast based, so I try to fire right away. So sorry if I get late to the chat, guys. There, but Malik, sorry. What was I gonna say? Sorry. Yeah, the Game Vice company. They were there, and then that lawsuit is another thing that's like, okay, if these guys at iLife won over this patent infringement lawsuit, I mean, I said before, like, I don't think there's anything to worry about, but then you see things like this, and it's like, Can anyone catch a break on these things? I feel like everyone's trying to sue each other over, like, the most minuscule thing is like, oh, they're infringing on our idea. They're making more money. Let's sue them. It's so weird, because they mention, like, scans of body movement and everything. The Switch kind of does that, but the Wiimote... Those things that they were claiming that they were being infringed on was... more along the lines of like a Kinect or a PS4 camera. Like, I feel like the body scan movement, like being able to sense all that stuff, it's sensing it through the Wiimote. It's not sensing anything with the body movement. So it's interesting that even that even went through. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm not understanding it as clear as it's being represented there, but I want to check in with you. L1, thank you. Yeah, I was just about to turn over to the chat, and L1 freaking right there. That sounds more like the Kinect. Yeah, exactly. It's really weird. If anything, more so than the Kinect than with the PS4 camera, because the Kinect actually does the full body. Like, you have things like Just Dance, where in that game it actually motions the whole body movement, as opposed to on the Switch where the controls are the movements. So it's weird. The outcome is mind-boggling. Yeah, we're in this weird place where it's like, all right, there's so many creative things happening, and no one can come up with an idea anymore and not get sued over something else just because of a minuscule thing, you know? And the fact that I think that it was Nintendo If it was any smaller company, they probably wouldn't be in this situation. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. But I was going to ask if they also sued Microsoft. Nope, there's no suing of Microsoft. And the fact that they're called iLife, that was like a Macintosh thing. How the hell did they get away with that? Is that why we don't have iLife anymore? Like, come on now. Oh man, Papa D-Rec, what's going on, dude? All right, we're gonna move on with the news here. And so that was my thoughts on the lawsuit. Like, if Game Vice really wins this lawsuit, I don't know what to say anymore. I will be flabbergasted if they won this lawsuit. It's nuts. But moving on to happier times. Happier times have come in the form of more Nindies, Nintendo Indies, for those of you who don't know. Nindies at Night happened last night, but before that, there was also a Nindie showcase on Wednesday. It was about a 22-minute video. They went through 22-ish titles, I want to say. I have the list with me. We'll run through all of them. I was really impressed with a good chunk of these games. I am confused, however, about some of the games that weren't showcased that were in the February Nindies Spotlight. That it was a Nindie Spotlight, Nindie Showcase. I'm not sure what they called it then, or a Nindie Direct maybe. But let's just get rid of the bad stuff first. Where's Flipping Death? Where's Wargroove? Like, come on, man. Those are the two games I was hoping that we'd have, like, release dates for. Two of those games did not show up. Apparently, they were in a clip, though, on the Nintendo UK. I saw Zero25 sent that over on Discord. Shout outs to him. And I was watching that, and it was like, it was in there. At least I think it was. I might be imagining things at this point. I was looking through so many Nindy stuff. My mind is boggled at this point. But, yeah. So, before we get into the list of games that came through, one of the things that happened from... I know, I flip-flopped there for a second. Last night, they announced 3 new Shovel Knight amiibos. King Knight, Plague Knight, and Spectre Knight. I'm happy. I'm happy. Yo, dude, what? Where's my... Oh my gosh. My buddy right here, Shovel Knight, my homie, right here. He's gonna have 3 new buddies. I'm so happy. I was hoping for a Spectre Knight. I was like, I don't care if they don't do anything else with this game. If they get Spectre Knight up in here. I loved Spectre of Torment DLC. That was great. That was an amazing DLC. That gave me the heart tugs. Like, that gave me the feels happening in the chesticles area, okay? They're coming out with a 3-pack that has Plague Knight, Spectre Knight, and King Knight. King Knight is the newest chapter that's going to be coming out 2018, I want to say. They didn't give a release date for that one, but I think 2018, sometime in early 2018. Yep, early 2018 is when that's coming out, which is awesome. So we might get that. I'd say if Shovel Knight Treasure Trove Edition came out around launch time for the Switch, I'd say next March, April is probably when we'll see that King Knight DLC come through. But the man, that thing looks so awesome. I'm really happy that is a thing that's happening. More amiibos for Joe. I just ordered the whole Monster Hunter the Monster Hunter Stories amiibo set that they had on discount last week from PlayAsia. So I went, bought those. Very happy person. I'm waiting for them to come in. I think I should be getting them soon. I probably won't have them in time for the Monster Hunter Stories game, but hey, it is what it is. Comes out next week, actually. Wow, it's crazy. King Nate? No. Oh, King Knight. Nate, what's going on, dude? Oh, man. So, yeah, new Shovel Knight amiibo right there. That's amazing. And it's coming in a 3-pack, sort of like the Splatoon. There was a Splatoon pack for the 2 Inklings and the Squid. Same premise there. I don't know if they'll be selling them individually, but I'm getting all 3, so it works out for me perfectly fine. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're gonna run down the list of stuff that they showed at the Nindie Showcase, and first thing up we have here is Super Meat Boy Forever, first to Nintendo Switch in 2018. Now let me say, first off, I'm very happy with the communication Nintendo gave with what was exclusive, what was coming out first as a timed exclusive, minus one game so far that L1 debunked for us. Thank you. And a big surprise at the end, which we'll get to, but we'll run them in the order that the games came out in. So Super Meat Boy Forever is going to be a new Super Meat Boy game, which is awesome. The trailer starts off the same way as what the first Super Meat Boy started off with like, you know, this is Dr. Fetus. He's not a real doctor. And then Meat Boy and Bandage Girl get beat up. They have a baby, and Nugget gets kidnapped by Dr. Fetus. So the whole premise is Meat Boy has to save Nugget. New puzzles. It's probably going to be just as infuriating as the last two Meat Boys have been. But it's more Meat Boy. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna rage out. I'm gonna be angry with myself and contemplate life. So that's just a thing that's gonna happen. That's first in Nintendo Switch 2018. And up next was what we were just talking about with the Amiibos, Shovel Knight King of Cards, early 2018. King Knight, I didn't, this is another one that's going to be a prequel as to how he ended up taking over the throne. It looks like you're gonna, just like with the Plague Knight, just with the Spectre Knight DLC, you're gonna be battling all the knights and eventually take over the throne, is my guess, because it all is going to take place before the events of Shovel Knight, which I've liked. Plague Knight, I played a little bit. The controls are weird. I want to do a full playthrough of that just so we have, you know, we've got more of the story. But the controls are very, very weird with Plague Knight, so I really got to get used to that. This is gonna be an interesting stream, to say the least, with that one. But the Spectre Knight DLC, Spectre of Torment, that was amazing. From like the story, the flashbacks, everything that happened with the kid that's in the game as well with the boomerangs. I forgot his name. Man, oh my god, that if you have not played that. Doesn't matter you have a Switch or not. It's on 3DS. It's on PS4. It's on. I believe it's on Xbox One because Shovel Knight was on there, if I remember correctly. So play that game. If there's it's sold as a separate pack. You don't have to buy Shovel Knight in order to play this. They sell it separately as well. Amazing game. Amazing game. Oh, King Knight again, yo. They're gonna make a name about King Nate, don't you worry. Oh man, the next one is probably the biggest. I'm not gonna be mean. Don't be mean, Joe. Mom hid my game. It's very much, you know, it's a point and click type game where your mom hides your game, and that's it. Moving on. Late 2017. Moving on is something I didn't expect myself to be playing, but it's an RPG golf game called Golf Story, and this is a Nintendo Switch exclusive coming out September, this month, actually. So I'm gonna check this out. We're gonna do a Nintendo Spotlight on this. Nintendo Switch exclusive, September 2017. I just said that. Golf Story. It's a top-down golf game that's also got like RPG elements on it. It looks amazing. Floor Kids. Here's where my rhythm game comes in. Floor Kids, first to Nintendo Switch, holiday 2017. Really cool. It's got like old school hip-hop elements to it. It looks awesome. It seems very it's a rhythm game, sort of, where you have to do the moves, you unlock other characters. They showed all different characters. It's all hand-drawn animations, it seems like, which is really, really cool. If anything, check out the trailer. I'll leave links to all these in the description down below on the YouTube breakout videos. And it's dope. You have to check out the trailer. I'm not doing it justice explaining it, but it's semi-rhythm and semi, like, I guess you have to do certain inputs to do certain moves to build up your score, maybe. There wasn't too much after that, but I'm in. Like, that's a game that speaks to me. I love rhythm games, guys. I have a soft spot for them. I have to try this when it comes out. Up next is Wulver Blade. It's a beat 'em up. It's a hack and slash, 2D. Really, really nice animations. First to Nintendo Switch as well, September 2017. So that's another one that's coming out this month. This one kind of, if I'm gonna relate animations, art styles together, this looked like what Battle Chasers Night War was looking like. That one being like a dungeon crawly type game where you're, with turn-based RPG elements. This one just straight up beat 'em up, which I love. That's another. These games are speaking to me like if I was 10 years old again, and I love it. This is great. Up next is a game. I'll pick up to support, but I don't think I will actually delve too deep into this. But Polybridge, it's a console exclusive, and it's coming holiday 2017. Polybridge is basically you're constructing things within a game. Don't think too much about it in a Minecraft sense. You're constructing bridges out of polygons, and you can shoot cars over. You can build certain things. I don't know if there's an actual purpose to the game. Other than that, or if they're gonna add missions to complete or anything, or just go through the tutorial and build some crazy contraptions. But it's very much like you build bridges out of certain things, and then you can spin them around, shoot cars. I saw in the trailer you had a bridge that had a catapult at swinging. So they put the car in the cup, and then they flipped the bridge over and they shot the car over. It looked pretty neat, but yeah, that one didn't really speak too much to me. This next one, Kentucky Route Zero, is a Nintendo Switch console exclusive, coming early 2018. It's Kentucky Route Zero TV edition. The reason it's TV edition, this might be the game actually that L1 pointed out. This one I think is also coming out to PS4, but for some reason during the conference they announced it as a console exclusive. So but what they mean by console exclusive is this game is a PC game. It started back in 2013, and it's been episodic, but it's taken really long to get the episodes out. Again, I've never touched Kentucky Route Zero. I've only heard of it. I feel like Marty Sliva from IGN mentioned this game a few times in the past, and that's the only reason I know of it. But the game itself, the 5th episode, is coming out January, February. I could be making that up in my head. Sorry. But it's coming out next year, early 2018, and the TV edition is going to have all the episodes. Thank you, L1. Thank you. Yes, so he's just confirming right now. Coming to PS4 as well, which is weird. They must have flubbed. They flubbed that, and they flubbed one more. I just can't remember off the top of my head which one it was. It was towards the end of the showcase where it had said coming first to Nintendo Switch, but the guy said console exclusive. So I was like, oh, editing, guys, editing, come on. And X-Bone, there you go. So yeah, I feel like this would have been a game that would have come out everywhere. So I'm wondering if maybe they didn't mean console exclusive and they meant to say coming first to Nintendo Switch. Very weird. Very weird. It's just weird to see something like that flubbed on on a global stream that happened. What a concept, right? Earth Atlantis is the next one. First to Nintendo Switch, coming out September 21st. One of very few dates that we actually got on games from this Nindies showcase. Think of Cinemora, side-scrolling shooter, your R-type game, except you're actually moving all around the map. It seems like you got different bosses, you got different bullet types that you get. Looks like a neat game. I'm not entirely sold on it just yet, although it speaks to the kid in me. So I'm gonna look around and see if there's gameplay of this elsewhere, and I'll I think most of these games I'm going to be doing Nintendo spotlights on. Aside from Mom Hit by Game, I think everything else pretty much speaks to me as we're going forward. So I like the animations on this as well. These also look sort of hand-drawn-y as well, which is pretty dope. Up next is Next Up Hero. Now, I don't remember too much of this off the top of my head, so I'm gonna cheat here and pull it up if I can. But Next Hero Up, I believe, is on Steam as well. And yeah. And Next Hero Up on Steam. So maybe it is a Steam game as well. Let's look this up right now. It's an early access Steam game, actually. Huh. There you go. So it's looking like... Oh, okay. This looks like a twin-stick shooter-ish type game. Arcade action adventure driven up by community continue, in which players take turns fighting and dying against tough-as-nails monsters, one hero at a time. Revive fallen heroes to fight by your side. Build your army and take out the boss together. Everyone dies. Heroes continue. That's dope. Okay, so to kind of break this down for you guys without being able to show you guys the video that I'm watching, you fight as a community. You fight together. This could be an awesome streaming game, actually, now that I think about it. But basically, you go. Let's say I'm playing right now. I'm fighting on the battlefield. I die. Next person goes up. They continue to fight. They can revive me, and we continue playing together. Then the next person dies, and then same thing in rotation, it seems like. That's awesome. It's third person, top down, arcade style, basically. That is a cool concept. That's interesting. Okay. I feel it. I'm feeling it. Up next, SteamWorld Dig 2. I think most of us know this one. SteamWorld Dig. It very semi-Metroidvania meets roguelike to an extent. You dig down, you find items, you find things, you complete missions for other people, and as you dig deeper, and as you dig on deeper, you have like a light bar. If I remember correctly, you had like a light bar and for your light or whatever it was, or your flashlight, and as long as you have enough light, you can keep digging around. Otherwise, it eventually goes completely dark, and then you're kind of screwed. So if you die down there, all your items stay where you died. And if you find them on your next life, you can pick them up. Now, this one has a different character. I never got to finish SteamWorld Dig, the first one, but I'm guessing I feel like that was one of the characters from the first one. Is that like a daughter or like a partner in the game, and they're trying to find the main character? I'm curious, but I'll pick this one up. I might have to finish SteamWorld Dig then. I had it on my PS Vita a while back, and I played it on there if I remember correctly, because I don't think I have it on my 3DS. I'm gonna have to check that. I know I played it somewhere. It's on either one of my Vitas or on my 3DS. But I'm gonna have to go through and burn through that game. Rip Vita, yo. So speaking of Vita, yo, they still have games coming out for the Vita, man. Yo, what? Everyone was clamoring about everyone's golf over the week. I was like, I'm good. I'll pass. Mulaka. This one was... What was this? This was the third-person action game, wasn't this? Mulaka. Let's look this up. Give you guys that proper... Another one that's on Steam as well. Look at that. Wow. Steam games really coming through on the Switch. Early 2018. Is this... This says available 2017. So this might get... Interesting. It might be coming out to Steam first and then to other consoles. This one isn't like an exclusive or a timed exclusive or anything like that. So this very well might be a multi-console game, possibly. All information I have is early 2018 for Mulaka. You have like I was gonna say like a Native American looking dude It's a third-person action game, it looks like, and I'm going to just read the premise real quick because I have it up on Steam. Dive into northern Mexico's most breathtaking landscape to experience the true life of a sukurame. I butchered the crap out of that. Mulaka is a 3D action-adventure game based on the Tarahumara indigenous culture that explores the lore of these legendary people. See, now you got me looking up things right now. But the bosses look pretty wicked. It's cel-shaded animation as art style as well. And now we're up on National Geographic right now. This is what happens on that Nintendo show. We just delve deep. It doesn't matter. It's as Greg Miller would say, it's a garbage truck on fire. The Tarahumara. You think I should know about this because it's about my culture, right? The Tarahumara of Mexico evaded Spanish conquerors in the 16th century, but can they survive the onslaught of modernity? Whoa, these people still alive? What? This was published in 2008. That's awesome. Look at the... Oh, man, it looks just like the character in the game. What? I'm gonna have to look that up later. Sorry, guys. Man, fail. Culture fail. My goodness. But anyway, I'm just going to read real quick the rest of this. Mulaka is being designed hand-in-hand with renowned anthropologists and Tarahumara leaders to capture the true essence of the culture in the game. We have unearthed old books, crumbling texts, and forgotten diaries, and gotten the most playable elements, as well as the coolest myths and stories, and recorded authentic Tarahumara dialogue. Everything has been done so you can experience the power and adventurous history of this culture. I have to play this game. I have to play this game. Yep. Ah, man, that's what I'm talking about. What? Sorry, just had a moment with myself there. Let me have this moment. Let me have this moment. King Nate pass. Oh, King Nate. King Nate! Up next is probably one of the more adorable games that I've seen so far for Switch. Yono and the Celestial Elephants. You're an elephant, top-down action game, it seems like. And oh, man. Oh, they're using my words. Polygon, you're using my words. Adorable elephant adventure. Come on, man. But let's see. Yono is described as by its creators as a grand adventure featuring carefully designed puzzles, treasure hunts, and sprinkling of combat in a world full of people. Players control young Yono, an elephant in a world inhabited by humans, undead bone whites, and robotic mechani. I'm sure we'll understand what that all means when the game comes out. As seen in the gameplay trailer, Yono's talents include headbutting his enemies, spraying water or fire with his trunk. Wait, so homie can shoot fire from his trunk? That's dope. I'm in. I'm sold. With his trunk and tossing explosives. Because what elephant wouldn't want to toss explosives? Come on now. They remember everything. He can also give rides to chickens. Done. Done. Can we get the chicken from Chicken Wiggle? Jules Watcham, where are you? Talk to these guys. Yono and the Celestial Elephant. Get your chicken. Get chicken here. Come on, man. He can also give rides to chickens. Yono and the Celestial Elephant will be a console exclusive to Nintendo Switch. It will be released on the Switch and PC October 12th. Another release date we got there. One of the very few. Oh, man. King Nate says that elephant game will also be a pass. Yo! Did you see the trailer? Please watch the trailer. Oh my god. Chicken Wiggle? It's a 3DS game. Oh man. And probably the game I'm more excited for than the game at the end of this whole showcase. Dragon Marked for Death. Inti Creates. You guys know I have a love-love relationship for Inti Creates. Marked for Death. What did I missed something here. Marked for Death was also a 1990 movie, apparently. Ooh, but excuse me. Dragon, you would think I'd have these up before the show. No, nah, not at all. But again, these are the guys that made Ozra Striker Gunvolt. They worked on Mighty Number 9. They worked on all those Mega Man Zero games for the GBA and the DS as well. They've been around for a while, guys. They know how to make 2D action platformers. And this is another one that's actually going to have co-op, I believe, in it as well. because I see multiple characters on screen battling as well, which is awesome. The sprite animations look great. Coming this winter, it says. Oh, why did I think that had a release date? But it's more Inti Creates. That's all I got to say about that. And that's a Switch exclusive, which is not surprising. Inti Creates has been doing a bunch of they've been doing exclusives for Nintendo for a while, so that's no surprise there. And I'm very excited about Aja Striker coming to the Switch. I played a little bit earlier. I was so happy. I was like, oh man, it's 2014 all over again. The music in that game gets me every time. It's so good. Another one that is really interesting, Battle of the Brigade. Right? Battle for the Brigade or Battle... No, sorry. Battle Chef Brigade. This one's another 2D action game that's also cooking and also part match 3 as well. It's got like several different genres in the game, and based on what you cook, you also gain certain abilities from what you make, so you use them in the levels. So like if you make a meal and you then all of a sudden could have like magical fire powers, and you use that in the game. And then I think the match 3 elements are based on what the meals are made, if I remember the trailer correctly. The art style kind of reminds me of like a more updated version of Dragon's Lair a little bit, sorta meets. This is an Adult Swim game, by the way, which it very much looks like an Adult Swim game. So yeah, the match 3 elements are what you do to make your food and your meals. That gives you the stat buffs, and then you also add different elements to the meals that you're cooking. You eat them, and then you can use them on a battlefield, and you get wind powers, fire powers. The game looks pretty dope though. It's interesting because a lot of the Adult Swim games come to mobile, so I don't know if this is another game that's going to be coming to mobile at some point. But it's first in Nintendo Switch, holiday 2017. Up next is probably one of the most weird, interesting games that I've seen out of all of this. L1, take care of yourself, enjoy that food! The food! Oh, man. But this one's called Morphy's Law, and I don't really know what to make of this. I mean, as far as like how to explain it, it's apparent. This one is apparently, I think it was this game that they said it was console exclusive on the screen, but then the guy said that it was coming first to Nintendo Switch. So I don't really know about whether or not this is actually going to be like a Switch only game. Not 100% on that. So yeah, this it's a shooter. It's a third-person shooter game. You shoot body parts, and as you're shooting the body parts, based on the body part that you are shooting at, your body part gets bigger, and you can actually just become. It's like becoming a Titan in Attack on Titan, basically. But you can end up like walking around headless, but then you're still shooting around at other body parts, and your other body parts can actually become building mass, and you just. I think at the end, the way to win is at the end of the day, like whatever team builds their giant Morphe. I don't know what they're calling it, but there's 2 body parts, 2 giant bodies that are behind the entire battlefield, and whoever gets the bigger body wins. But at the same time, when you're shooting around, your body can get bigger. You can get to the point that you get so big, you can't fit in certain doors. It's very weird. It's very freaky. Like, it's so weird. I need to try it. But yeah, that's Morphe. That's Morphy's Law. It's a play on words for Murphy's Law. We're down to the last 3. This next one is coming first to Nintendo Switch, fall 2017. It's called Sausage Sports Club. And you're basically a sausage that's playing different sports. I'm typing it up right now so I can pull up the trailer to kind of do the play-by-play for you guys here. But yeah, it's I see you're battling against 4 people. This kind of reminds me of oh gosh, what's that game on Steam? The one where you're like the goopy goops. The goopy goops right there, and you're like hitting each other, and then you can fall off the screen. Oh my god. Tim Schafer is working on that game. It was an early access game. I can't think of it. Anyway, it looks kind of like that. And you're battling each other, and it looks like there's different modes that you're playing. It looks like it could be a fun multiplayer game. It's like a death battle, almost. And I see 8 players on screen. Yep, up to 8 players. That's crazy. My goodness. And then there's different characters that you can unlock in the game. That's a lot of characters. Jeez. But they're like sausage-shaped animals. So you got like a sausage-shaped duck, dog, frog. It looks so strange, but I guess you could say it's kind of like a Power Stone style, where all the characters are on the same screen battling each other along a 3D playing field is the best way to explain that game. Yes, all of this sold. Yo, King Nate's like, yo, Nintendo, you got my money. Nintendo, you have my money. Oh my god. Can I have a Nintendo credit card at this point already? 3 more games. Oh, I missed one. Light Fingers. First to Nintendo Switch, early 2018. Now, I need to remember this one. No, not... Why did Skyrim come up when I typed in Light Fingers? Here we go. So I'm just going to skim through here real quick. How you guys doing? Oh, this was the tabletop game. So this is... Yeah, this was weird. This was like a tabletop action platformer-ish game. It's really weird to explain without you guys seeing the trailer, but you roll your dice. You then are the character that you had picked for the board game. Whatever dice you roll, you go to that area, just like any other board game, and then the platforms slowly start opening up as you're walking around, and I guess depending on what you roll, there's certain enemies that might come out of the screen and you have to run away from them, maybe. And then there's other platforms that there was like blades that were like crossing all around and everything that are like in your way. There's just certain obstacles that you need to pass through as well. So I wonder how it's gonna play out exactly on this game. It looks interesting. I just don't know if this one is up my alley, to be honest. I think I want to see someone play this one, or maybe I do run the risk and we do this as a Nintendo Spotlight, and we'll decide from there. I'll spend my own money on it. Up next is another beat 'em up game called Nine Parchments, and this one looks dope. This one was actually, I remember seeing this being announced on Nintendo Life a while back, but this one. I don't want to say it reminds me of Gauntlet. Gauntlet's not the game I'm thinking of, but 4 players on a screen, a very hack and slash beat 'em up-y. I don't know if there's any RPG elements. I didn't see any menus on screen for that, but it looks like each person has their own class that you can pick, and there are a lot of enemies on the screen. This game looks impressive, actually. Yeah, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different characters it looks like you can play as. Possibly. I'm just going based off what the cover of the screen looks like. But it kind of, from the perspective that it looks like it's in view of, kind of reminds me a little bit of Diablo, but the game definitely does not play like it. It looks like it's, very hack and slash elements, probably 1 or 2 buttons to win, which is fine. I like games like this. I like how creative these games are getting, and some of these bosses look insane. One just shot out a whole array of ice in different patterns, and you have to make sure that you fit within the right pattern or else you get hit. So I think that's pretty dope. But that's Nine Parchments. That's coming out holiday 2017, so stay tuned to that at a Nintendo Spotlight near you. And then the big one that everybody went crazy about, which I need to go back. This is one of the games on my list for this channel to play through. 1 and 2 of it is No More Heroes. A sequel got announced. A third part got announced. Now it's a trilogy, right? Travis Strikes Again. No More Heroes. Trailer starts out as the father of homegirl. I forget her name. I guess she died, and he's going to attack Travis. Travis seems like he's already knows what's going on. Travis being the main character of the last two games, back in this one, and they get sucked into a VR game by some unknown enemy. They didn't really explain that part in the trailer, but I read some of the synopsis afterwards, after they fight in Travis's trailer, and apparently there's going to be like partnerships with other indie games. So it may be a case where each level is a different indie game. So I think that's going to be really stupid awesome. The game itself is super wacky, does not take itself seriously. I think in the past the game's reviewed at like 7.5s. They're hack and slash beat 'em up games. They started on the Wii. I believe 1 and 2 is also on the PS3 as well. And we're gonna play it on channel. I want to play it. If I'm gonna play this one, I need to know what's going on. I know there's like some class of assassination thing that Travis goes through in like the first one. That was like the premise of it, right? Like he wanted to be the ultimate assassin or whatever, and like kill off all or I don't know if he kills off all the heroes or something like that. But we're gonna play it on channel. I gotta pick up the games. They're really expensive, so I'm like, okay. I'm gonna hit up my friend and see if I can borrow the two No More Heroes, and we'll play it like that on the Wii U, and hopefully the sensor, because I know that game had a lot of motion controls with that as well. So that's another thing we got to take into consideration. King Nate says, I played the first one. It was weird, but still a solid experience. Awesome. Like I know it's very weird in like the story, and it's Suda 51, so I expect some wackiness to come out of the game for sure. And I didn't realize Ubisoft published the first No More Heroes, so that's pretty interesting. I don't know if they did the second one, but yeah, they published that first one, which is cool. And I guess yeah, Nintendo is going in on hard on the games, and I like that they're giving a platform for all the indie developers to show up and present their games in. Now there was 2 games that didn't show up on the showcase that I want to give recognition to. I had them up here. I don't know where they went. Where did they go? Do I have them on a Nintendo page here? Here we go. Oh, there's 3, 4. There's a few games. There's a handful of games that didn't show up on the showcase. Away, Journey to the Unexpected, Dandara, Dimension Drive, Super Beat Sports, and Runner 3 all got announced right after the showcase. Like they posted up all those trailers, and then those 5 didn't show up. Dandara is like a 2D 8-bitty looking game, I believe, but it looked pretty interesting. That one, yeah. It's semi 8-bit / 16-bit-ish, but it's pixel art basically is what it comes down to. It kind of looks like that game where you're the janitor dusting around, sweeping, and they dash around a lot like that. I can't remember the name of that game. The bosses look creepy as hell. I feel like the game was supposed to like take place somewhere in Russia or something like that. Player controls the character Dandara in a 2D action platformer. The goal is to traverse through to the final level, defeating enemies and bosses along the way. That is a perfect description of this game. Oh man, here we go. I'm on Dandara's website. Here we go. In a bizarre universe where the oppressed are on the brink of oblivion, Dandara has awoken to reshape the world. As a Metroidvania carefully designed with both touch and gamepad in mind, we considered how you would achieve exploration and fast action using either input. The result was a gravity-bending world where movement is comprised of jumping from surface to surface in lovingly crafted environments. It is up to Dandara to restore balance and give direction to a directionless world. I like that. You had me at Metroidvania. There we go. That was a better... Why couldn't they put that description in the feed? Come on, man. Dimension Drive was the next one. This one wasn't interesting. It's a bullet hell game with 2 screens, but you have to switch between the 2 screens every time to avoid getting attacked on one screen over the other. It seems like it's going to be a total mind F to play through, and I'm, again, I'm a bit of a bit of a masochist when it comes to bullet hell games. I love them and I hate them at the same time. Kind of like my relationship with buying all these games on my Switch right now. Super Beat Sports. I didn't watch the trailer for this one, so I'm just gonna skim through again. It looks like another similar to Sausage Sports Club, different modes. That you're playing with different characters, 3D animation. Looks like a cute little game that we got going on there. Runner 3, if you're familiar with the Runner series, that's another game that's coming out for the Switch. Looks even prettier on the Switch right now. And it's not an endless runner, but it is a runner game, so there you go. And I think that covers... Oh, Away Journey to the Unexpected was the other one. I like the art style of the cutscenes here, but it's like a first person action game. Yeah, it's first person shooter, I guess you can call it that. Game that combines action, negotiation, and slightly roguish elements presented in an animated style. Coming to Nintendo Switch Q1 of 2018. So yeah, that doesn't really give me much to go off of on the game. The game looks pretty interesting, but I need to see more before I make a decision on that one. And that was everything from the Nindies showcase / the stuff that Nintendo didn't show and just posted up. They posted it up as PAX 2017 trailers. I think that's why they didn't want to showcase them. Maybe those games are not as close to release as the other ones, which is probably why they didn't showcase it, is my guess. But that was a lot of games that they went through in 22 minutes, which is crazy. I'm gonna jump back into chat real quick just to see what I missed. I think I've been pretty good with seeing what's been going on. I played the first one and it was weird, but still a solid experience. Oh, okay, yeah, we caught up. Yes. So, excuse me. With that, guys, we leave the pipeline. We're out of it. We're out. We're good. We're in the clear. And we go into the eShop drop, where every week we jump in, we look at the games that have come out on a Nintendo eShop for the week. And yesterday, August 31st, we got a few games. And also from Tuesday, August 29th, we got a few games that came out this week. Which is crazy. It's nuts. It's out of control. It's out of this world. Hunter, what's going on, dude? We're almost done with the show here. And up first is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, brought to us by Nintendo and Ubisoft for $59.99. Neo Geo Z Blade, $7.99. These are all Switch titles this week. No 3DS or Wii U games. Ozzer Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack, which includes both 1 and 2 of this game, updated for Switch. It's basically the Steam port running at 60 frames per second. Amazing game. Inti Creates, I love you. Please, can we get Ozzer Striker 3 now? Now that this has been ported to the Switch, we need Ozzer Striker 3 in my life. And the last one is League of Evil for $7.99 on the Nintendo Switch. Brought to us by Ratalaika Games. They also, and Wobblyware, I'm not sure if it was both of them, but Ratalaika Games, I believe, was I and Me as well, the game with the cats, if I remember correctly. And that is everything on the eShop drop. Guys, I don't have any Fizame moments of the day because my laptop decided to, well, not the laptop, but it might be the beta version of XSplit that I am using, so that way I can use my Stream Deck to kind of switch scenes and whatnot. You guys might not know what that means, and like, I just want to hear sound bites. But guys, we'll pick it back up. I'll see what's going on with this after the stream and get that fixed for next week's show. But that has been That Nintendo Show for September 1st, 2017. I've been Joe, your host for this show. You can catch me here live on Twitch Thursday through Sunday normally. This weekend is going to be a little bit wonky, but we won't be streaming on Sunday, but we will be streaming the rest of tonight and Saturday night. And remember, I will leave the link to the donations for Red Cross as we're raising money for support towards relief for everyone down there in Texas suffering through Hurricane Harvey. There's the link again if you guys want to donate. I'm not taking bits this weekend. If you guys are planning on doing bits, just go to that link instead. Send the money there. They need it way more than I could ever need it. So guys, thank you so much. This has been technically episode 3 of That Nintendo Show, but since if you go over to YouTube, you can see all the episodes of the Afterwork show as well. I clumped into there. It's all the same show at this point. So guys, take care. Love y'all.